Hello and welcome to the third Film Smart podcast. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus for a little while, but we're back today. What is it, June 13th, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so almost tomorrow will be a full month since our last one, but June 13th,
Oh, Lord.
2017. And so we're just going to talk about what's going on in the world and what's interesting us. Now, Wonder Woman came out on June 2nd, and so we're going to do a little bit of a review because I've seen it twice now. I don't know how many times you've seen it, Josh. But so once, you saw it on June 1st, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw June 1st.
Yeah. So I wanted to go over our thoughts because Josh and I, interestingly, we haven't talked about it at all with each other.
You're right. I forgot to even text.
And I didn't want to talk because once I realized that you hadn't texted me about it the day that I was seeing it on June 2nd, I was like, I'm not going to talk about it with him because I wanted to have I wanted to be new to what your thoughts are. I think I have an idea of what your thoughts are, but I wanted to.
I didn't even really tweet about it.
Yeah. So I just want to hear what you actually think and what you thought of the movie because so many people really enjoyed it. So what are your thoughts on Wonder Woman?
Well, obviously, I really loved the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was rooting for it, and I was happy that I could actually say, I was telling people left and right that they need to go see this movie before I had even seen it. Wow. And then I was satisfied, but I remember I think it was the time when she jumps up into that tower and collapses the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
and then right after that scene where they're all at the bar, I realized I was like, okay, I was right for recommending this movie.
Yeah,
because it instantly already made her more human than Batman and Superman. Not like human, but it grounded her.
In this universe, it gave her, yeah.
Yeah, I think because I just watched Man of Steel the other day, and I don't like comparing everything, obviously, but like Man of Steel, I think one of the problems that I see now that I didn't really care that much back then was that movie was like big moments pieced together.
Mm.
Like even the flashbacks, I was just like, can they just tell the story?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why are we doing this flashback thing? It was gimmicky, and then it would disrupt the flow of the whole movie, and then there wasn't enough time for anybody else to develop. Like, I don't know, there were only like 3 characters that even had any value to the plot. But
yeah,
with Wonder Woman, I actually cared about every single person that was battling. Well, is this a spoiler review? I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. We used to always forget that in the videos, too. We're going to spoil the movie. I mean, the movie's been out for 11 days now.
They whatever. They'll see
I think a lot of people are going to see it, but honestly, I feel like you've seen it if you're listening to this podcast. But yes, a spoiler-filled review, yes.
But yeah, all the people who were battling with her and when she went on to the front lines, like, I cared about all of them, and literally all the people in the village, I still cared about them. Even the people, that weren't even had faces, I cared. Patty Jenkins really went off on this movie.
She's the best out of the 3 directors, I think.
She really is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can say is she really knocked it out of the park. Now, the only problem I did have, or do you not want to talk about problems yet?
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Okay, well, the problem I did have was kind of with Ares because he was in a way okay. So there were times where I was like, okay, he's really cool and evil, so the parts where he was disappearing and baiting her out, and the whole thing that he outsmarted her and she was so ready to fight this dude and that she was overlooking things that were so obvious. But he was kind of corny. I don't know, just the way the special effects started to look in the third act, and then I hate those really long, drawn out fight sequences that DC seems to really thrive on. I hated it. I was like, this does not need to be a 10 minutes of just CGI.
Yeah.
Because there's that one scene where she's just going God mode and she's going through the flames, punching dudes, and it looks terrible. It looked like she was running on a treadmill in front of a green screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean with that.
Yeah, it was literally only the third act. Me and my friend who saw it with me, he turned to me. He said the only thing that had issues was the third act, and that was because they just spent too much time on a fight.
Yeah,
and I think the fights don't have to be the climax of the movie. Like, make the characters drive it. The fight to the cherry on top.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to see how she progresses because I really actually care about her motive to come to not the United States. She came to London. She wanted to help end this war, and she wasn't anybody's ally. She wanted to stop the war all around.
Yeah. Because in this war there aren't really good guys or bad guys necessarily. This isn't
and
like
I love
Nazis.
that you realize that.
Yeah.
Like, Steve Trevor for a second was acting like it was all one sided. Like they were like the United States was completely okay and like all that stuff, and that he was a good spy. But there were definitely had some shady business.
Yeah, everybody was dirty, and there wasn't a clear villain. Yeah.
And God, it was so inspiring. Like the scene where she goes out and then she takes all the bullets that get hitting her shield, and then that inspires everybody else to come out. Oh God, that was so good.
Yeah.
The CGI looked kind of corny when she first deflected the bullets because I hate that like landscape looked so, I don't know, like the way behind her, it looked like she wasn't actually there, or that the sky didn't actually look like that. Like I just hate when you can like when you can tell something basic, like if they CGI a window into a room, like it just looks stupid.
Yeah, it needless.
Like I'm sorry, I hate. That's my real problems were that the CGI, and then there was no like fight choreography in parts of the fight with Ares. So then it just started to feel like nothing was happening. Like they were just throwing each other around.
Yeah.
So, and then Ares, I don't know, like they didn't actually go anywhere with him. But
they might in the future though.
Yeah, but I hate, like, I don't know, it didn't really feel like there was any overarching, like, I guess they didn't have to. They didn't have to do that, but I think we're used to having it set up the next movie.
Well, he was kind of like the Marvel villain in that he wasn't like a focus, like the Joker was in The Dark Knight, or even General Zod was in Man of Steel. He wasn't.
He wasn't movies. The focus was stopping the war.
Yeah, he was. He was a tool
that she had to stop. Yeah, but she really went on the front lines herself. Yeah. Oh God, I also love. Yeah, I love what she tells the generals that they need to be out there too.
Yeah. Yes.
What was her name? Antiope? I
almost said Claire. Robin Wright.
Yeah. Yes. Because I was so confused on how to say her name.
Antiope.
I know. I was the way they were saying it in the movie. I was like, what?
I think they were saying Antiope or Antiope.
I think it's Antiope.
Okay.
Because it's Antiope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I loved her.
Oh, she was great. Gone too soon.
Yeah, hopefully, I kind of hope that some villain brings me back, Cersei. Oh, God, imagine Cersei and Ares teaming up. Oh, my God. And Diana has to return to Themyscira. Oh, God. And they bring Antiope back. Oh, God. They bring Steve Trevor. Oh, my God.
Well, before all that, I just want to say real quick with my thoughts. I really enjoyed the movie like you did. I thought great character development with Wonder Woman. I thought they really did a good job explaining where she's coming from, both literally and figuratively. I thought it was a good, like, fish out of water story. You know, like it becomes pretty evident when they get to London, like, you know, she has no idea. Well, she might have all this knowledge about, you know, Socrates and all, you know, all these different languages and everything. She's very much not a part of the then modern world. And so I really liked that. I thought she did a good job of that. I thought Gal Gadot gave a good performance. She wasn't, you know, she didn't blow me away or anything, but I thought she was good in the role. What'd you say?
Where she goes, "You were lying?"
Yeah.
That was the worst acting in the entire movie.
That's what I was thinking. That's the scene.
I was like, "Ugh, is this 2017?" Even the way she just said it, I was like, "Ugh."
Yeah, that when that scene came, I noticed the second time I watched it, she did a lot of her acting is physical, and I don't mean that like in a fighting way. I mean, she moves when she says things a lot. She moves her head a lot. She does.
And her face, she'll just make weird.
Yeah, she's very animated.
She needs to tone that down.
But it isn't overacting. I think it's just how she is, and I don't know. It's something about it seems genuine because I can tell when someone's overacting just watching a Halle Berry movie. But when you watch, notice how I quickly threw that in. But
Halle Berry movie.
But no, seriously though, it was funny, but I'm not joking. But with Gal Gadot, she is she moves and she's animated, but it seems something about it seems very genuine and it makes sense for her. And when we were talking about the flashback scenes in Man of Steel, I think they managed to do the flashback scenes so much better in Wonder Woman. Not that I didn't like the Man of Steel flashback scenes, but what they did is they just put them all together at the beginning. Like they didn't have to cut to her being like at one point of the movie, it didn't cut to her being a teenager and to her being 5. It was just all in sequential order. And so I don't know. I really liked how, because the whole movie's a flashback. So I really like how they organized the Themysciran flashbacks all together, and they really managed to flesh out that island. And almost, it reminded me of how Man of Steel began with Krypton. That would just you really flesh out this area that you're aware of, but they haven't gotten too far into in other movies, and by the time you've left it, you sort of miss it. So I thought they did an excellent job fleshing out the Themyscira and all the Amazons.
Mm-hmm. I would actually love to see a movie based on Themyscira. Like, I didn't need Earth, or not Earth, but the rest of Earth, because it is on Earth.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, because like Atlantis and Themyscira, it's like they're Earthlings, but they're not humans. So it's.
But they're not. But it was so weird because there were moments I just realized where like they would be like, "But you're not one of the this type of Amazons."
Yeah. And actually,
but she never asked like, "What am I?"
Yeah, I know, because I guess she assumed it's because she was made out of clay.
Well, you're not one of us. You're not like everybody else.
But is it because she assumed because of the clay part though?
Yeah, is that why? Because
I think that's why. Because when I read the comic like a month ago, the implication is that she wasn't made out of clay. But I mean, the implication that she was made out of clay, and that's why they called her clay, because they weren't made out of clay. They were. I don't know how they thought that they were born, because there's no men there. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
But they called her clay because she was made out of clay and sculpted and whatever, and then brought to life by Zeus. And so, regardless of whether she's made out of clay or she's the daughter of Zeus, she's different than the Amazons, because I'm assuming they come into being some other way. I guess I don't know.
Because all the gods. I also hated the fact that they killed like all the gods are dead.
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't think that's actually true. I think they're still around.
I think Hippolyta was lying.
Yes, I don't know if she was lying or if she was misinformed.
Did Ares ever say? Did Ares ever confirm that he killed Zeus?
No, well, because he didn't kill Zeus. Is still alive.
Okay,
because I was like Zeus.
Oh, okay. Because I was confused. I was like, so did he confirm that all the other ones were dead? Or
no? I think
Hippolyta lied about like pretty much everything.
I think she either lied or she was misinformed. I don't know, but I think
she might not know.
I think that I can't imagine that Ares killed all of the gods. He might have killed one of them.
Why would he kill Hades? Like what?
Yeah, why? And also, I mean, Ares is. and I don't know if this is how the comic book universe works, but there's always been the big 3 gods: Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, and beating them or killing them is a very challenging act. And so for Ares, who is the son of one of those gods, to be able to kill everybody minus his father is sort of unbelievable to me. Even in that,
maybe she didn't. Even when she found out, maybe she didn't want Diana to go mingle with them. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes him seem more dangerous and to stay away from that. But because obviously she didn't want him to go. She didn't want her to go off to World War I. So I think it's clear that she doesn't want her to be involved with Ares or anything he's doing, because she's aware that she's the god killer. So I think she doesn't want her to be a part of that.
I wonder who she's gonna have to take out, because I feel like there has to be something bigger that she's the god killer. Like, I mean, I know Ares, but
no, I mean Ares. Ares is like one of her major villains now, right? He was never that way until a few years ago.
Which I really wish. I mean, I guess he could have escaped because he can like teleport and everything.
Oh, I think he's still alive.
So who knows?
I think.
Yeah, he has a lot of powers, and Diana still doesn't even know what all of her powers are.
Yeah, and I think Hera would be a cool villain to bring in to make a villain.
Would you say
Hera?
Hera?
Hera, Zeus's wife. You know.
Oh, Hera.
Yeah. I always pronounced it Hera, but yeah, Hera. But what she could do, what she's done to the Amazons in the comics, I think
I remember in the comics, when she turns them all into snakes and Hippolyta into a statue.
Yeah, I think that would be a really cool scene in Justice League or in Wonder Woman 2 where she comes back to Themyscira.
Mm-hmm. And then I think, what is it? I think I might be completely wrong, but because I haven't read this comic book in so long, dear God. It's been like 3 or 4 years. But it was, I think it was, I know she makes a deal with Hades for something, but she has to like marry him. And I think it was to bring the Amazons back to life. But it was, I remember she runs into Persephone. Alec? Alec?
Josh?
Huh?
It looks like the call dropped. I don't know. I guess we're still we're still broadcasting, but the call dropped for a second. I don't know.
Okay, because I was like,
But we're still on, so I don't know how that works, but I guess I'll just keep going on as nothing happened, and then we'll we'll see if something's happened. Gosh. So we were just
never stopped being live, so.
Okay, so maybe it's okay.
But I mean, it was just like a long silence.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was saying something. I don't know if anybody heard that, but
yeah, because I was talking too.
Did you hear what I said about the new gods versus the old gods in Justice League, though?
No.
Oh, wow.
I would love that. Dear God.
Yeah, because that's what they were saying, that the Justice League is the new gods versus the old gods, with the new gods being Steppenwolf and Darkseid and whatever. And we see a scene in Justice League with the Amazons fighting.
I hope to God.
You know, that big wide shot that they do.
I hope to God that the female Furies, like we see at least a shout out or something to them. I want Wonder Woman and Big Barda to team up once in live action. I need to see Big Barda and Wonder Woman team up.
Yeah, I was thinking about Big Barda. I was like, where is she?
Barda is, oh my God, she's so cool. I read like her comic book history.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the video. It was a Comic Vine video, I think, about Big Barda, and I was just sitting there like, oh my God, why is she not in the movie yet? Like her and Wonder Woman would make such a good team.
Yeah, they need to get someone.
Because like, Wonder Woman, I think she needs to have some like female friends too.
Yeah, because she was with all men in this movie, wasn't she? I mean, like, obviously on Themyscira she was with all women, but then it's interesting. She was with all women at the beginning, and then the rest of the movie she was with all men. But
yeah,
minus
our entire supporting cast is gone.
Yes,
like she has no. Yeah, they have to give her a completely new set of people.
Even some of the people in Themyscira, like I keep wanting to say Claire Underwood, Robin, yes, and Tybee. Even she's gone. Although they have said she's going to be in Justice League. I don't know if that's a flashback or they should come back to life, or
you never know. They could have already battled on Apocalypse or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe that could have already that could have been in the past.
Yeah, his Darkseid is supposed to be old, right? He's not.
Yeah, Darkseid's not like young. He's not new.
Yeah, he's a new god, but he's not. He's new.
Really Apocalypse.
He's new compared to Zeus, but he's still.
Yeah. Ooh, the new gods. Oh, they have a lot of nerve calling themselves the new gods.
Yeah.
Like Big Barda is technically one of the new gods, I think.
But the gods like Zeus and everybody, they're very earth based. So how are they even aware? Because Darkseid is like he's an alien. So how is he aware?
That's true. Yeah. So I mean, these people, they aren't necessarily gods. They're just powerful beings.
I know. They're. It's like.
So, because I was having a hard time. I was like, wait, calling themselves the new gods, and then I realized like gods is a title.
Yeah, like they're not divine, but and I get like they're aliens versus divinity. But I'm just saying like Zeus didn't create the people on Mars. All right, he didn't create John Johns. He didn't create Superman, but he did create humans and maybe Atlanteans, so in a way, and obviously Amazonians. He created Earthlings.
Does Poseidon have something to do with Atlantis?
I would think that would make the most sense, because how could you not have that? Always, because I don't know if I've ever heard about like a reference with Aquaman and Poseidon, but
yeah, like why wouldn't he be the king?
yeah, why wouldn't that would be a perfect way of connecting Aquaman and Wonder Woman, is by having some sort
Maybe
of
Poseidon, like his project was the Atlanteans, and and he wanted his people for his water, his territory.
Yeah, Zeus created the humans and Amazons. Poseidon created the Atlanteans.
I actually like that, but that is kind of cool, yeah.
Although
maybe
Hades has really created the humans, right? Maybe that's
maybe that would be about
maybe that's who created us. Hades, yeah. That would be an interesting reveal. No,
did you hear when I talked about how Hades and Wonder Woman had to get married?
Yeah.
And then she ran into Persephone.
Oh yeah, who died? Somebody died in that.
And you didn't know it was Persephone though, because she was like in these. She looked completely different.
Oh really?
It was all those years of being in the underworld that had like totally just changed her appearance.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of sad. Like I was like, dang, I know this is a comic book, but God,
I think
like she just looked like absolutely like soulless. I remember the ground was souls of people, and the walls were all souls.
That's how I remember it in the Percy Jackson movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rosario Dawson played Persephone in that one.
Very weird movie.
Yeah, I love the books though.
Yeah, I loved the book. Like I remember I would every time the book fair came around, I'd be like, "Do they have the next one?"
Yeah, I mean, I was so interested in the Greek gods. So when, once I became apparent that Ares was going to be a part of the Wonder Woman lore or the Wonder Woman movie, I got really excited because I was like, man, I love the idea of the gods being part of the DC universe, and I mean, because one of my problems that I used to have with Thor is that Thor was like a real life Norse god, and so I was like, so you just made him a superhero, and like I don't know, and then same thing with Hercules. Both DC and Marvel have a Hercules character. Is anybody reading that? But Wonder Woman's way of dealing that I thought was interesting is that they've made the gods like a part of her history, like a part of her lineage, rather than trying to make these guys into superheroes. Like, I never understood, why would you make Hercules into a superhero? That's kind of Hercules is a superhero. Why do you need to like adapt him into your universe? It just didn't make sense to me. I've accepted Thor. I think he's, cool or whatever now, but that used to always bother me. But now with the way that Wonder Woman's dealing with it, I kind of enjoy it. And actually I like the way that villains are sort of made into, gods are sort of made into villains now. And because once you research the Greek gods, you realize that a lot of them are not, just because they're gods, they're good. Mm-hmm. So like Hades and Ares, like even Zeus, a lot of them are just douchebags that just happen to have a lot of power. But so I really like what Wonder Woman did. I like the movie. I know Patty Jenkins is going to be asked to sign on for a second one, or
if they didn't ask her, I would lose all faith.
Yeah, it's weird to think she wasn't even signed on for another picture. So she's gonna have some real negotiating power now. Mm-hmm. And Gal Gadot is only signed on up until Justice League. I think they're going to sign her back on again.
Yeah, she's going to get her money.
Yeah, and she deserves it. And obviously, we can't miss how successful the movie. It made 103 million, its first weekend domestically, and then its second weekend it made 57, which is a 45% drop, which is very healthy drop off. That's right where you'd want it to be. Most movies are in that area within 50 to 40%. So it's right in the middle. But a lot of movies, some will drop around 60%. That's when you're like, oh, that's not good. So it's in a very healthy range. It's doing well. Probably make 30 million next weekend.
Well, it's already at 444 worldwide.
Yeah, so it'll cross 500. It'll probably round out around 550 altogether. So it's definitely maybe higher.
It really has a resurgence.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It might get to 600. I don't know. I don't know what territories it hasn't been released in yet, though.
It's banned in several countries, but yeah, but
I know it's banned
really
in Lebanon.
small.
Yeah, because they're mad about her being in the Israeli army military when she was younger.
Yeah.
Which I mean is absurd reason to not. But what do you say?
Is it out in China?
That's what I'm wondering. Because if it's out in China, South Korea, Japan, once that, it can make a lot of money in those territories. Although China's really weird about supernatural things like religion and ghosts. Like Ghostbusters, I think was banned in that country because it had ghosts in it. Because they only allow a certain amount of movies to come to that country. I don't remember what the cutoff number is, but it's only a certain amount. And so with Wonder Woman having the Greek gods in it, I don't know. They might say no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I mean, again, like Lebanon, absurd. But who knows?
They'll learn eventually.
Or maybe they won't. I don't know. But yeah. So what would you give the movie out of 10? 1 out of 10?
Probably like 7.9.
Okay. Well, I'm surprised. I'm a little higher. I give it like an 8.5. I really like the movie. I thought some of the CGI, like you were mentioning at some points, looked. But I thought when she ran out onto no man's land, I thought the CGI was fine. It didn't bother me, and I thought that actually was a really powerful scene.
Yeah, I thought when she was getting shot at and everything, I thought it was really good. But
yeah,
the CGI that kind of took me out of it because I was like, I know this isn't. I don't know. It's weird. You just knew it was.
Yeah, there were a couple of scenes where I got taken out of it. That wasn't one. When you were talking about the ending, like you were saying how they dragged it out. That was one of my issues with Man of Steel is that they dragged out. I thought the fight with Zod and Superman for a little too long. Yeah. I enjoyed that fight, but it got to the point where it was getting exhausting, and so like my two problems with that were that and Lois Lane, and that was really about it. With this movie, the first time I watched the fight, it didn't bother me as much because they were flashing back between her and Steve Trevor. And I thought that was
good. I actually really like that.
Yeah, I thought that was a good way to keep it like not focused on one thing. But I agree when Ares put that mask on and you see his mustache, it didn't work because I like when Ares has that black face and the red eyes.
I also wish that flashback where he's like muscular and younger.
Yeah.
And it was that old man's head like CGI'd onto some dude's body.
Yeah.
I was just like, what is this?
I don't know why he had to have a mustache. And
also, could they have gotten that actor and then had Ares reveal himself to be somebody else? Like that be his facade, like his.
I know that's what I thought. I thought that would be like he would turn into
old man. It does not look that like.
Yeah, I thought he'd look a little younger, a little less mustachy, have a little bit. Why does he have a British accent?
Yeah,
but
he does cool. He did cool stuff. I loved when he was like making all the swords and stuff.
Well, I liked how he made his suit out of because that's like his suit from the comics. I like how he made it out of the artillery and all of the metal that was just laying around. I thought that was a really cool way to explain why he had his suit. And I loved seeing Wonder Woman beat him. This fight again had less to do with Ares and had more to do with Wonder Woman coming into her own.
Mm-hmm.
She had thought one thing and she was totally wrong, and now she had to fight this guy who was going to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
And so she managed to find a way to like take him out. And I don't know, it was interesting the way she took him out because it was clear that she couldn't beat him in hand to hand. Really, that was probably not going to happen. So the way that she beat him was, I don't know. She's always sort of been. She always defends herself. She wants peace. She doesn't want to actively go out and fight people unless she has to. And so when he's throwing stuff at her, she's just sort of blocking it off, like with a force field almost.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she shoots off this electricity that he shot at her. You notice like everything is it's coming to her, and she's reacting to it. It's
if he knew that she was the daughter of Zeus, why would he try to use lightning against her?
I don't know.
Like I'm sure that would what? And then
I mean, I guess he thought he could. Well, I don't know.
In the comics, there were so many. I feel like there were so many times where Zeus, when he would defeat Ares, like when Ares waged war on the Amazon, Zeus took away his powers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the only way that he could get out of that was to get another god. God had to let him, because he gave him these shackles that were like Wonder Woman's bracelets, and that was and that kept him like subjugated, and then he was kept on Themyscira too in prison. And then when he escapes, he has to go get another god. I think he gets Hades to do it, to unlock the shackles, and then he gets his powers back, and then wages war on the Amazons again. So I was like, why didn't Zeus? I mean, I guess did they say Zeus thought he killed him?
No, I think he just thought he stopped him. He just knew he stopped him for a long time.
Because there's so many things I'm just like, why would he have just killed him? But I don't know.
Why wouldn't he? Because I guess he was out of. Remember they said whatever energy
Zeus was at like his last breath too.
Yeah.
I really find it so hard to believe that Ares could fight so many people. Whatever. Like Wonder Woman beat him. A half-blood ended up winning. Like she wasn't.
She's not even a god. She's a demigod.
Yeah. So Ares definitely didn't kill all those gods. I guess I get that he's at a weaker state, but still, even then, he definitely did not kill Zeus and his brothers.
And I didn't believe him when he said it takes a god to kill another god. I don't think so. But
what if Superman? So I feel like they're gonna have to have somebody who's not a god, just really powerful, kill somebody. Let's kill a god.
I think Darkseid might be that. That might be interesting.
He'll be able to kill. I don't know. Darkseid could probably do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because he's
Wonder Woman can. I'm sure Darkseid can.
I could see him like taking out Ares or something, and Ares right before he kills him, he's like, "But you're not a god. You're right. I'm a new god." Yeah.
Or he'd be like, "No, you're not." So like, it'd be like, "Oh God, that's something that
you no longer fit into these times."
Because Darkseid takes his status very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
He demands respect as one of the new gods.
Yeah. So
he's so arrogant. Oh God, I need somebody to just come around and be able to just take him out. Because there's no way, like nobody in the Justice League is like even seems nearly strong enough.
Yeah.
Like even Superman, the oil rig scene, I was like, I get that the oil rig was like unbalanced, so there's no way he could have held that up, even if he was the strongest person ever to ever exist. But like, there were so many times where I was just like, he seems like he's struggling to do something that would like Darkseid could easily do.
Yeah, but I think he's working his way up to it. You know, he can't hold a planet yet.
His father says, keep the only way to figure out how powerful you really are is to keep testing your limits.
Yeah. So when this is an interesting thought. If you really did have super strength, then I think you wouldn't realize it for a while. Like you might, because you're like, I can't pick up a car. Like you're trying to lift it, and it's harder than you think.
And then you do it.
And then you kind of do it. And also, there's probably, even though you have super strength, you have to like work out. So I think Superman. So like we all have a certain amount of strength that we could have, but you have to like, you know.
I want them to do that cool thing where Star Labs makes him that little thing where he can like bench press, but it's like a black hole. He's basically holding open a black hole as his workout.
Yeah, or like that. What was he doing in All-Star Superman where they're like he's lifting 5 quintillion pounds or something?
Yeah, I forget. I don't know how they managed to make that. Was it like a piece of a star or something?
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
I don't know. I remember he was the only person that's able to lift the book of. It's like the book of everything or something. I don't remember. It's a book that contains everything.
Yeah, and so I just think,
and he picks it up.
See, yeah. So I think he could do that in these movies eventually. I just think he needs to work up to it, get more experience.
I cannot wait for like DC Universe to explode. Because when I saw that DC intro,
Oh, that was great.
Oh God, I was like dear God, I never. Oh, Marvel was just an appetizer. Oh God.
Oh, it was just like the Justice League show, animated show.
It really I think it was that type of like nostalgia that just brought it back, and I was just like, oh my gosh, how did I forget how much I love DC Comics?
Yeah, and there was like, and you realize they have the rights to all those characters.
Yes, they could do whatever they. I don't understand why they aren't doing like so many things. There's so many places to go. If they get Justice League a strong enough brand, why not do Justice League Dark? Or you literally don't even. Justice League Dark is kind of a hard sell as a name.
Well, they actually are planning to do it.
I know, but isn't it? That's at another studio, isn't it?
No, it's at WB. It's just yeah, it's at WB. It's just that I think it's having some trouble, like a lot of the movies are. But I think it's
please. Throw Patty Jenkins on it. Just get her to do all of them.
Yeah, really.
Like, I'm sorry, just God. I just want.
They found something that worked.
Whatever. Aren't they calling it Dark Universe? I want Dark Universe now. I don't want Justice League. I don't care any. Like, well, after I saw the trailer for it, I was like, but I want Justice League Dark because it's actually something different. Like, it might even add some life to the superhero genre. Because it's doing something so different. Like Doctor Strange did it, but in a way, I was like, this is like a weird, different type of magic. It's more like Zen and like I don't know. It felt like magic that you tap into. Like
it was already spiritual.
Yeah, it was it was that type of force. Their magic is like abracadabra. Like they have
straight magic. Well, I was thinking about that the other day. I was saying the difference in magic between someone like Zatanna and Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like they need to do because it's not been done right now. Do it.
I think they will. I think that they said they were going to wait until Justice. I think they should do this because it's important after the success of Wonder Woman to wait a second and wait till Justice League comes out, see how that's received and how much money that makes, and then move on because they have all these different plans with Justice League Dark and Batgirl and Gotham City Sirens and Nightwing.
We don't need Batgirl, okay?
I would take it over Gotham City Sirens. I would say I'd rather have that.
Stop. Okay, you don't have to give. Like even for women, I think Wonder Woman was like an amazing start for women to have their own movies. But don't get like trigger happy and start giving people who don't really have that type of history to have a series of movies. Like, I'm sorry. No, I'm just saying like. Put Batgirl in Batman.
Yeah.
Like the fact is, you don't have to just give every woman a movie. Make them more present. And then don't always make them a sidekick or don't always make them a love interest or just put some powerful women everywhere. The point is representation. It doesn't have to be just them as the lead. It needs to be them being everywhere because women are everywhere. Like men and women are everywhere. Black people are everywhere. Like these things, I don't understand. Why they feel the need to pander in the wrong way. It should be simple. Make it diverse. That's it.
Yeah. Because I mean, I think that it would be wise to set up Batgirl before you give her own movie. Because but I also think the same is true with Nightwing. Because people don't know who these people are.
And Nightwing, why would we want?
Yeah, I know. I think people assume as comic book fans that like everybody's gonna want to go see Batgirl and Nightwing. They don't know who these people are. They know who Robin is. But they don't know who these people are. These are just characters that they're vaguely Batman.
I would really, really love to see Barbara Gordon in a movie, like in multiple movies before she becomes Batgirl. Like the whole Killing Joke thing could literally be a Batman movie.
Yeah, throw her in Batman, which is in limbo right now, and then throw her in Suicide Squad 2 or something. I don't know.
Like even Batman versus the Joker, and Batman's going after the Joker because he paralyzed Barbara Gordon. Like what? Why not have that be part of the movie? Or like that could just happen. Like it could be the Joker sets up this huge thing because he's trying to bait Batman out or something. Yeah, he kills people all over the city, and he goes for Commissioner Gordon. How it happens in the comics. Then after Commissioner Gordon, Barbara answers the door.
Yeah, make her a part of this because I think her
fight to come back, she comes back. I'm sorry, but I just thought of that. It's even more empowering when she was never that type of woman. Like she was never that type of fighter before. When she comes back, she comes back stronger than she even was before the accident.
Yeah, well, because What were you about to say?
It's show that. Whatever. You can go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I think the DC universe is thinking that they kind of want to jump into these characters. If you know what I mean, like Marvel had a good idea of setting people up before these team up movies and things.
And I think that Marvel, even now, they have this brand like that they could just go, we're gonna make a Ms. Marvel movie without her being in any. Is she going to be in anything before her movie?
Infinity War.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm just sitting like, I mean, they are throwing new people out there, like Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a huge success. I think they have this brand recognition too, though.
Yeah, like, I mean, Doctor Strange wasn't in anything, and that movie made $600 million.
That was really bad. Like, because even then, I'll be like, okay, Iron Man 3 and Iron Man 2 are weaker, but I wouldn't call those terrible movies.
No.
So yeah, what I'm saying is just like DC, once they get that type of like brand loyalty, then I think that they can go, hey, let's make a Batgirl movie without like doing any type of setup.
Yeah, I think we'll make a Blue Beetle movie. And they were thinking about making a Booster Gold Blue Beetle movie too.
That actually sounds awesome. But like I just realized I was like, that's actually would make it's like at least $800 million. That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
it would set up people don't even.
They have to build a brand before they do that.
Booster Gold, because Booster Gold, it's kind of funny though that he's still a loser and he literally comes back from the future where he knows how everything goes down, and he's still a loser. Comes back with future technology. Like imagine going back to like the Dark Ages with technology and you're still not cool. Like and you're still not worshipped or you're still not feared. Like they just don't even care.
Yeah, he's just a super douche.
For him, and then all the times he comes back to. He comes back when Superman exists, so no matter what he has, it's pointless because Superman's already stronger and more powerful. Like it doesn't matter.
Another time,
you come back before the Justice League.
Yeah, why did he have to come back then? I don't know. He totally didn't have to do that, did he?
I don't know. Maybe he gets caught. Maybe he gets trapped in this time.
Yeah, that's what
I was like, why wouldn't he go back? Because I know he comes back because he felt like a failure in his own time, but maybe he didn't realize what time he was going back to.
Yeah.
Because I think if he's in the way future, like he wouldn't even know where Superman, like there probably will have been 100 more superheroes, like that, millions more.
Yeah, there's probably legends and things and people we're not thinking about that did really interesting things that we're not aware of from.
So yeah, we might not even know that. Yeah.
So.
Dear God, I'm so excited because there's so many things that they can do. Like Wonder Woman was good. People like it. I have seen like very aggressive campaigning from just fans on Twitter. Like people be like, you have to go see this movie. And then I've been seeing, like, I've been watching somebody's Snapchat story. People I'm friends with, but I've never had a discussion about superheroes with. Talking about Wonder Woman was awesome. Go see this. Blah, blah, blah. She's awesome. She slays. Blah, blah. I'm like, what? You have never once mentioned superheroes ever, and you were at Wonder Woman opening weekend.
Yep.
I'm just like, good God. Who knew that this gold was going to come out of Wonder Woman? I did, but I wanted this for years. But like,
well,
I just don't understand. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy that this movie was good. Like, if it was bad, I think they knew that was the final nail.
Oh yeah, it would have been
But the funny thing is, they still like have a long way to go before they're just like.
No, they were in a coma and now they're still in a coma.
The fact that I just thought I was gonna say Batman versus Superman and Man of Steel, and then I realized, oh wait, Suicide Squad is in that universe. Like I forgot Suicide Squad existed.
Yeah, because
I have no desire to ever see that movie ever again. So
yeah,
like I just feel like they have a long way to go. This might have been. It's not a redeeming movie, no matter how good it was, even if they served us the Dark Knight quality, like it still wouldn't have redeemed them.
Yeah, I think if Justice League is good,
which I don't know, I really.
Yeah, I mean, now that Joss Whedon is doing the post production, it might be. Who knows? But
no, I feel like it's. Hopefully, the switching of directors is good. It will be smooth.
I think it will because it's already been shot. I know they're doing reshoots and things.
Oh wait, he's just handling reshoots?
Yeah, reshoots and post production, and all post production. So that's editing too. But
well, I guess editing. Okay, that actually does have a big effect too.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the the second time it's being directed, or maybe the third if you count the script. So, yeah. So we'll see. I think Justice League will end up being good, and I think Aquaman will end up being good. So that'll be 3, and that's the only movie they have coming out next year is Aquaman. So I think if they have those 3 movies, and they all end up being solid movies, I think they're right back on track.
James Wan is still on for Aquaman?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
That movie's having no issues right now.
Like, I'm actually, wait, what'd you say?
That movie's having no issues.
That's like, I'm actually super happy about that because Aquaman, Wonder Woman, for some reason, I'm not even like, I could go, Superman is my favorite superhero, but I could really go without another one. For, like, right now, in Batman, I'm just trying to give these new people a chance because it's so much unseen territory. Like Atlantis with Aquaman, we're going to see some things that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's never been an Aquaman movie.
Like and then when these people are introduced, we're going to see Superman and Batman in a way we've never seen them before, interacting with these new worlds. So what I'm saying is like introducing all of these other heroes changes our perspective even on the ones that we do know and breathes new life regardless.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I just think that they are I am so excited for all of these new heroes. I want nothing but these movies to be amazing, dear God, and I want them now.
Well, that's why.
Like if you can see, if I was on, if you can see my face right now, I was just pounding with my fist. I want these movies now, dear God.
Because like the thing is, I do want these new characters, but some of these new characters are spin-offs of like the mainstay characters like Nightwing and Batgirl.
Yeah, I don't want those. Why don't they put that into a Batman movie?
Yeah, see, I think they want to make those movies, so I think that they need to get on that Batman movie, which has had so much trouble, and they need to figure out who's playing Batman.
I really, for some reason, like it's cool. It's a cool concept to have those movies. But like, I was like, do I really need like Batman 2.0 having his own movie? I'm like, do I really need especially if it's taking place in Gotham too? Who cares?
Well, I guess with Nightwing, it would take place in Bloodhaven.
Who cares? I feel like that's a spin-off of Gotham itself, probably.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Like, well, who cares? What's going on? Like, you're Batman's sidekick. Dude.
Yeah.
I don't want a Superboy movie.
Yeah. I'm not excited for a Nightwing. I mean, I'm excited for a Batgirl, but I'm not excited for a
Batgirl. I'd be excited if they do tell her whole story. Because I remember I was reading her. You remember? Do you remember when I was reading her comic?
Yeah.
I loved it. Oh my God. But the thing is, I don't know if I want them to like give her a movie over some other character. It's not the fact that like I don't want a Batgirl movie. It's the fact that I feel like there's characters who have so much
more to offer,
so many more stories to tell that are worth more than Batgirl. And I can get that satisfaction. Like I'll get the same satisfaction out of Batgirl that I will out of like any other Batman character. But I don't know. I mean, I think Batgirl, marketing wise, will actually be pretty awesome. Like for them, they'll like the toys, and I think if they get like a spunky enough redhead girl, like actress, oh God,
yeah, hopefully it's not Sophie Turner because they, but
oh God, I really don't want Sophie Turner.
Yeah,
I feel like she plays the same character in everything. But
I don't think she's a good actress. But
yeah, I was like, we don't need a cardboard Batgirl. I want a funny I want a Batgirl who's like spunky. What I said was spunky.
Yeah.
Like she's not afraid to tell Batman, like, listen, dude, I can do this by like myself. I don't need you. Don't forget that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To be like, yeah, you helped me. I've outgrown you. And I love when she has those moments. But would you want Batgirl and Batman to like ever have had like sexual relations in the past? Like any type of okay. Because I was wondering in the comic books they did it where like she kind like they kind of hinted at that they had been together in the past. It didn't really go anywhere though, but yeah, it just made him. It was more of a Batman and Catwoman situation where he like treated her differently and all these things, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah. No, I kind of just want to see Batman with Catwoman, really. So I think that's really his true.
And why don't they ever just do that? Like, dang, God dang, like we just get Batman and Catwoman.
Well, in the comics, he proposed to her.
To Catwoman? Yeah,
just recently.
Wow.
So I don't know if I don't know what she says, but I always thought Batman was more interesting with Catwoman Wonder Woman is an interesting.
Catwoman, yeah, my favorite love interest.
Yeah, I think Wonder Woman is an interest. It's interesting when he's with Wonder Woman, but I think Catwoman is probably.
Oh, I don't want Wonder Woman with anybody in the Justice League.
Would you want to be with anybody or no?
Even Steve Trevor, for in a way, I was like, they're not really in love or anything. Like, he loved her. I feel like it was a different. I don't know. It was more like that was the first guy she knew, and he happened to be attractive.
Yeah.
And like, it was literally the first guy she knew. He was nice to her, and he helped her find herself and find her mission. And that was like, I think Steve Trevor was more associated with positive things than like she was actually in love with him.
And I think it's the same thing for him, actually, too.
Yeah, he met this wonderful woman. She was beautiful. He got to help her, and yeah, he felt. No, actually, I don't want to like say anything. It sounds like misogynistic, but
what?
I was gonna say he felt like a sense of accomplishment helping her do something. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
But like, yeah, it was like this mutual, like, we found purpose in each. Like,
yeah, they both learned things from each other. He learned about like.
I really like that dynamic with them. I was like, I'm not sure if they would have even lasted like as a couple.
Yeah, who knows? I'm glad that they killed him off instead of trying to
me too.
Find a convoluted way to bring him back to Seriously years. Well,
she will get him out of the underworld to torment Diana.
Well, that could be an interesting thing, like almost like a dreamlike sequence.
I would really love that because seriously, she is so powerful.
They probably will do something like that, actually.
And I really want to see somebody get rescued from the underworld. Dear God, like in Justice, because the underworld you can escape. But in Justice League Dark, I remember that comic book. One of the coolest things ever was when they go get Andrew Bennett out of the underworld, or hell. I guess they just call it hell. Where they go get him out of the underworld, and I think John Constantine, he has to go, and he was like, "Well, I've been here before." He was in hell. I was like, "Oh God, how dark! This is dark." But and Andrew Bennett's a vampire, and actually, the way DC handled the vampires, actually, I think that would be an amazing movie.
Because Justice League Dark.
Yeah, I think that would be an amazing way to, because Enchantress is already used, so the Blood Red Moon might be the perfect thing to get. The Blood Red Moon is a terrorist organization.
Oh, okay.
And it's started by Andrew Bennett. So Andrew Bennett's like ex-wife was Mary, the Queen, Queen Mary, I don't remember what she was, but she was a queen, and then she was a vampire this whole time, and then blah blah. She falls in love with Andrew Bennett, and then she turns him vampire, not by choice though. And vampires were hated, so he basically spends his entire life depressed because he hates being a vampire. And then, so Mary, since she never finds happiness because she only loves Andrew, she basically makes him like she goes on this rampage so she forms this group. Okay, I'm trying to find the right wording. She forms this group. There was this organization, this terrorist organization of other vampires that have been turned, like, because it's a whole community, and they start this terrorist organization called the Blood Red Moon. Which I think when the Blood Red Moon is out, like it takes them years to like be ready to do this. But they go out and they try to turn the entire world into vampires. And then they're trying to turn everybody so that they don't have to be ashamed anymore. Like they can't be outcasts if everybody is with them.
Oh, that's kind of a cool idea.
And then one of the coolest parts, oh my God, because not all the vampires are super, super strong. Like, you're not super. If you just got turned, you're not going to be like insanely strong. Like,
So they would have some sort of dominion over the new vampires.
What do you mean? Oh, like the older vampires?
Yeah.
I don't know. They didn't explore that because it was a Justice League Dark comic, so they didn't really go into depth about like how far that control went. I think that the creator does have control. Like that's just usually in vampire lore. Like the creator can control their creation. But it was Mary, the first city they target to turn to vampires. Guess what?
What?
Gotham.
Oh yeah, I think I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Batgirl fights them. Batman fights them. Nightwing comes out to fight them.
Yes, yeah.
And they try to bite Batgirl, and it was funny because she had garlic. She was like, garlic. I don't remember what the phrase was, but I laughed so hard. And I was like, this would be perfect for a movie.
And it was meant as like a joke, right? Because did the garlic work?
Yes, it was a joke. I think it worked. Like, it was so funny because of all the things to kill these huge ancient creatures was garlic. Like, and then in the DC universe, in the daylight, they appear normal, like vampires. They lose their powers though, so you can kill them.
Oh,
in the daylight,
they're just humans in daylight.
Horrible beasts. So he can't have any nightlife. Like, he couldn't. He can hide during the day, but he could be killed by like a vampire hunter. So he basically hides out during the day, but he can't come out at night because he turns into a beast. Not a beast, but he just gets really like, he turns gray and his hair turns like white and he gets red eyes and his teeth, his fangs come out.
Well, that would be an interesting story to work on because you can very much empathize with them.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is like there is so much. I've only read the two series of Justice League Dark.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, the two stories they told with Enchantress, the first one where the Justice League Dark all of them came together was amazing, and then the whole Blood Red Moon thing was amazing too.
Yeah, that sounds really good. That would be a really interesting story. And
then the vampires, I was like, thank God they're not corny.
Yeah,
like that was just the one thing I was like, because I've always loved vampires too.
Yeah, I think that could be a really interesting way to sort of figure out how we want to tell the story. What do we want?
Because Justice League Dark, did you ever read any of them?
No.
Like when Enchantress, when she first comes, she makes this like tornado of teeth in Kansas or something. And Superman goes to like, I don't know why he thought he would be able to stop a tornado, but he goes to like fight it. Like, what? Him and Wonder Woman go to fight it, and they start getting torn to shreds by these teeth because they're magic.
Oh yeah. Well, Wonder Woman doesn't have a problem with magic, right?
But they're still killing her.
Oh, okay.
And then I remember, who was it? I think it was Batman who goes, "We're gonna need some like heavier artillery or something like that." And then he calls Zatanna, and then she gets hold of Constantine, and then blah, blah, they go recruit everybody as they figure out how to fight the Enchantress. And I was like, this is a perfect movie setup. Like, this could perfectly introduce everybody. And I just have to be people that, like, people who are magic they're not out to, like, these people are just doing their own little thing, like voodoo people. They're never out to be rich.
Yeah, I think you could set up, if you're going to do a Batman movie, first set up Zatanna in Batman, because I know they have a close relationship.
They have a close relationship. He can call her whenever.
Yeah, so I think that would be a perfect way to set her up in one of his films.
I would love to see Zatanna like in a club or something, or like he walks past a building and you see the poster for Zatanna and Zatara.
Yeah,
her father and her. Oh God! Or her father.
Make sure it makes sense. Make sure it's not shoehorned.
Yeah, just it could even literally like just a poster, or Batman goes to some. He would never go to like a magic show because that'd be stupid, but. Well, I don't know, something out on the street, you see a woman in Zatanna's costume, like she's doing street magic in Gotham. I don't know. Like,
well, you could even have a moment where he talks to her for a minute, like he helps her, she's in trouble or whatever, and then she helps herself because she's Zatanna. And then
that'd be so cool. Oh, I just imagined the scene.
Yeah, and then maybe like at the end fight, she helps him for a quick second.
We need to. I want to do Zatanna fan castings.
Yeah, let's bring the blog back.
We do, because I'm just, I mean, I have all this free time. But, like, dear God, I just really want Justice League Dark to be good. And I think it has so much potential to be amazing.
I agree, especially after hearing that comic. And you said...
What I also want... Wait, never mind. You can go on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you can go on.
I was just going to say, you mentioned an interesting thing about Wonder Woman. You were saying how people who had not read comics or anything were becoming fans of her or whatever and getting excited to go to a comic book movie. And so I felt the same thing with when the Black Panther trailer came out a few days ago, how people were rushing to support that film.
Yeah, I told you, my parents, tell me why I didn't even know the Black Panther trailer was out. I come downstairs and they're watching it on our new TV. I'm like,
really?
Have you seen the Black Panther trailer? I was like, what? What? Wow. This what? I was like, you guys have never showed interest in comic book movies ever until one of them was black. And that's really like, and then there are all these people on Twitter too, like, like there's like Black Twitter.
Yeah.
And everything. So literally like every black person on Black Twitter has Black Panther, like some type of reference to Black Panther in their thing now. So I was like, oh, Black Panther definitely is gonna have the black demographic sold.
Well, yeah, I mean every black person in America is gonna see it opening weekend. And then
that's really good. That's gonna do wonders. Black people are gonna go to the movies again.
Yes. And I Wonder Woman, the way that people just rushed that movie, women came out to see that movie. I think it's going to be the same thing with Black Panther. I think people are really excited to see this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And plus it looked great. And I mean, it has such a great cast. And I don't know, I read you were talking about Justice League Dark comic. I read King while also being a warrior. And I love the quote in the trailer where it says it's hard for a good man to be a king. That's a really interesting theme to explore. The idea of having a leadership role and a lot of power. And what does that, how can you balance that out with being a decent person? So I think they really have an interesting story. And he's in my top 5 favorite comic book characters. So I'm not jumping on the bandwagon with him. I really am excited.
Mm-hmm. I barely know him. I'm just happy to see
representation.
Mm-hmm. And I remember I saw Angela Bassett in the trailer. That was one of the moments where I went up seeing it.
Yeah, I mean they have.
I just love Angela Bassett.
They have her. They have Lupita Nyong'o. They have.
Yeah, Lupita is a new black, like if she's in it, black people are saying it.
Yeah.
Like her and Rihanna. Oh, that movie. Yeah, you can guarantee that movie's gonna do well.
Yeah,
I guarantee it's not gonna be like $700 million.
No, but it might make 300.
Well, obviously, it's a Netflix movie. It's a Netflix movie. I forgot, but
oh yeah, it's Netflix. That's right.
Which is kind of disappointing, but
yeah, we won't get box office numbers from it, but.
I know. I really wanted to see how Rihanna actually is. Yeah, and
Netflix doesn't give out their viewings.
Mm-hmm. So basically, we'll get nothing
other than talk on Twitter, social media.
Yeah, that's really it. Whatever.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I guess real quick, we can finish the podcast soon. I just wanted to say E3 is going on right now, and they've talked about some video games. I thought the Battlefront 2 trailer, the second one that they've released now, the gameplay trailer looks really cool. And I like that you can – the problem I have with the last Battlefront is that it was there was no single-player campaign, and that it was just you were just playing different – you would just play one game, and then it'd be done. And it was just boring. The whole way that the game was sort of – set up was just kind of, I don't know, it was just a very boring game. But this one, it has like single player campaign. You can play as all these different heroes, everyone from Darth Maul to Yoda to Rey. And then it goes over 3 different time periods. The one that we're in right now with the Force Awakens and Last Jedi. And then you can play in the classic time period of A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back and even Rogue One, technically. And then the prequel time period also. So I like how it's bridging, because I think the prequel movies are inferior movies. I really enjoyed Battlefront 2, and that was always during the those Battlefront games were during the prequel era, and so it's nice to see that come back. So I'm really excited for that game. Any thoughts on Battlefront 2 for you?
I haven't seen the trailer, so not really.
Yeah, check that out. Check the first one out, actually, and then check the second one, too.
I feel like the only thing I did see, I don't even know if this was from E3 because I saw it a while ago. like the Assassin's Creed, like the return of the series.
Oh, yeah, it's in Egypt now.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that.
Yeah, that looked really cool.
I don't even remember. It was one day I think I just picked up Assassin's. It came free with my Xbox.
Yeah, you got.
And then I didn't like it at first, and I didn't play it for like 2 years. Then one day I picked it up, finished the whole story, then bought Syndicate, and I bought Black Flag.
Oh, you have Black Flag. I was just playing that today, actually.
Funny because I started on the one that's like the most panned of all of them. Which one was the one that
Unity?
Assassin's Creed.
Unity.
Yeah, I started on Unity. That's one everybody hates, and I love it so much that I went out and bought the other games.
Yeah, it's like the best looking one, but a lot of people did not like it. But it's funny. People have always been saying Assassin's Creed needs to go to Japan, feudal Japan, and ancient Egypt, and it's gone to ancient Egypt. So I think we know what's coming up soon.
Yeah, what's coming next? Yeah,
it needs to, and I'd love to see India also. But yeah, so
India is beautiful.
Yeah, maybe even Mali would be a cool one. Ancient Mali.
Well, we have the ideas. We need to be hired by the studio.
Oh, like what if they went to like the Mayan Empire or oh, that'd be awesome. Inca Empire.
We could do some really cool. Oh, that'd be a cool concept.
Yeah, yeah. They haven't gone to South America or Asia.
Developers get rich.
Yeah, we just need to like write the games now.
Idea men.
What do you say?
We should be some idea men.
Yeah,
with ideas.
Yeah. That's for our next podcast. We just come up with where Assassin's Creed should go next.
An hour of ideas.
Say that again.
An hour of ideas.
Yeah. Maybe that'd be an interesting episode. But and also the Spider-Man game for PlayStation 4 looks really cool too.
I was only for PlayStation.
Yeah, so it's only because he's owned by Sony, so I guess they're just keeping that with because Sony is PlayStation, obviously. So I think they're just keeping that in the family.
Oh well, good thing I'm not that into Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm not either, but that game, I have to admit, looks pretty cool. It's sort of like the Arkham games, except for Spider-Man, and it's not as dark. It's like not dark at all. It's light, but it's it's open world, and the mechanics are very similar to the Arkham games from what it looks like. But so I'm really looking forward to that. And there's another open world game. I can't remember the name of it, but it's looked interesting. But E3 is always an interesting thing to keep up with. I remember I was keeping up with it a couple of years ago when Arkham Knight was about to come out. Love that game. But yeah, so that's. Was there anything else you wanted to discuss?
I've said my piece.
Yeah, like next week we'll get more into politics. Obviously, there's a lot of things going on with on Capitol Hill and with the investigation of Trump, and then obviously there's things in the music world that we want to talk about. But I think this episode I just wanted to focus on movies, specifically Wonder Woman. So yeah, so next time we'll talk more about that stuff. Well, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, and as always, stay film smart.